Hallo und einen wunderschönen guten Abend zu unseren Freunden im deutschsprachigen Raum. Neue Episode von Journey to the Chateau hier in Saint-Baudel. Und wir sind in unserem ersten Bed and Breakfast Zimmer, was wir dran arbeiten. Und die Wände geben ihre Geheimnisse preis.
Bonjour à tous, bienvenue sur votre vlog Journey to the Château de Colombes in Saint-Baudel.
And now to our English-speaking friends from around the world.
Welcome to another episode of Journey to the Chateau. And we are here today in the construction zone, basically.
Yes, pretty much.
This is the first of our two bed and breakfast rooms that we're renovating.
Yes.
And this episode, we're going to give you some updates on where we are.
Yes, and there's secrets that we actually...
And some
that
things...
the walls reveal.
Absolutely.
It's really quite fantastic.
So as a follow-up to the old wallpaper that we found when we began the renovation of the bathroom of the bed and breakfast room, you remember that when Patrick took out the cabinetry, the first layer that was there behind there was the black and yellow checkered paper. And then right beneath that was this paper with the tiny pink print on it. And then just below that, remember, was this blue floral, which I was able to steam and get several rather large pieces off of there, which I was happy to get. But what we didn't know then was that underneath the blue paper was actually something else. There was a thin layer of paper underneath that had been hand painted, and it was made to look like three-dimensional paneling or trompe-l'oeil. We found something similar to that when we took off the wallpaper in our small salon. So moving on to the rest of the bedroom, we started taking the wallpaper down from the bed alcove side of the oak panels, and we found at least 7 different layers of old wallpaper.
So, what you see behind me here is a new wall. Normally, you don't really want to put drywall in a chateau. Now this is a separating wall between the bathroom, which is behind Stuart there. And it's just so that we're clear about this, because there were so many speculations going on. It's going to be a bathtub that also will second as a shower and a vanity. And we have a separate water closet for this room that is private, so it's en suite. So if there's any more speculation, just don't. It's fine. So the reason we had to take this wall out, and it's really, really thick, it's like over 3 meter 10 or 3 meter 3 meter 20 long oak paneling that is way over 300 years old. It's very rough. It's not finished by in any way, shape, or form. It's like heavy. May I say heavy?
Yeah, yes, it is very heavy, and it's in individual slats. So I don't think, maybe you said it was just oak paneling, but these are actually
slats. Yes.
Yes, but each one of them are slats that are about this wide.
Yes.
And they're grooved together to make up the whole wall.
Yes.
Right. And so they are basically kind of like a partition wall that were between the alcove here. And so the wallpapers that you saw, those were just on the two sides of those oak boards.
Yes. So we had to take it out for multiple reasons. But so today there will be now, the vanity will be on this wall. So there is plumbing, there is electric that needs to go in, and you can't just nail that to oak planks and think it's pretty. It's not. And the advantage of what we just did is, so we can now insulate, or it is already insulated. I just started closing this up today. So it's insulated, so there is a sound barrier. It keeps the heat in the room better. And on the other hand, it is also, we will reuse these beautiful wooden planks.
Correct.
With all the wallpaper on it.
Yeah, so all of those
Will be
planks,
constructed.
right? All those planks that you saw, we took all of those out when we did the wall, and we're keeping those. So we have all of them, and that's really the great thing is that we still have all of those wallpapers on the boards.
Yes.
That we will still be able to have and display.
And we will use this for, we have multiple ideas where we can use this, not in the chateau, but the conversions of some of the outbuildings we have here, we can absolutely use that and protect the wallpapers and have almost 400 years of history on display on these wood planks. I think it's great. Fascinating.
It is great, and that way, and we're also not closing them up, so no one can ever see them. So now we actually are having them available, and people can actually see them.
Yeah, so we are in the middle of this renovation. We still have to take down, when you look behind me, we always call it the yellow bedroom, which is kind of wrong because it's not yellow, it's gold.
It's kind of a gold-ish. It's like a more modern version of a damask sort of a thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, and you can see the rest of the room. We still have wallpaper to take down.
Yes, and there's I think one layer you said is behind most of it.
Right. Yeah.
Of old wallpaper. So
right.
There's going to be stripped. The ceiling here does not need mending, which is great. Or fixing. Some light sanding with a mask. Yes, I know. The paneling needs to be repaired. There's no major damage. So just smooth it out. And again, we will not strip this because we are not taking the history away. So it is not going to be something that you would find in a Disney hotel. So with perfection. No, this will stay a character home.
Right.
But it's so exciting. So we're every day making more progress.
Right.
We're also working on the other bathroom still.
Right, we are. Right. Yes. And so other thing I want to point out, since you can see it here. So one of the other projects that Patrick had worked on had to do with this wall right here. And so we had taken out, this is the wall where the tub is going to be. And so the bottom of this wall actually was paneling.
Yes.
And we did take that paneling out because we need to put it, with two things. One is that, first of all, because that's going to be a wet environment, you don't really want wood paneling right next to something in a wet environment. So that's why we're going to be putting up wall here that's going to be with tile, that's going to be for a wet environment. And the paneling that was here is actually being repurposed because we need it now over here.
Which there never was paneling, which is odd. But it's also, in that wall will be all the water pipes for the shower and the faucet. So that wall is, we still have to work on it. It is right now bent that way.
Right.
And that way. So there's
So yeah, a little bit of work to straighten that out before. That's why there's still no drywall on it yet. So Patrick did take some time and he started working on the paneling that we're relocating from here to here.
Why are you pointing at me?
So this is the paneling piece,
Yes, that Tony took out in the bathroom.
right, of the bed and breakfast room that we're currently working on. This
Yes.
was in the bathroom.
Yes. And where this will be the wall for the bathtub and shower.
Right.
So this would have been behind a bathtub.
Right.
Not smart. So we have one wall in the alcove where the bed is going to be, where they just didn't put in paneling. They didn't.
Right.
I mean, it just is. So we decided to take that, get it out, restore it, cut it to size, and add wood or take some away, depending on how large it is supposed to be. And then it's going to go in there. So the alcove has paneling on 3 sides.
Right.
And so yeah, I'm just getting this out.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's very convenient that,
It's the
we're
same width.
repurposing the paneling piece in the same room. It's just being relocated to a place where it was missing before.
Yes, so it's going to be scraping to get all the bumps out. And this is, I mean, there's so much here that needs to be just taken off. But I'm going to use the sander for that, belt sander.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm going to wear a mask. But we're not going to strip this wood completely because it takes away from its character.
Right.
So we're going to fix, I mean, there's a huge hole here where the old heating pipes went through,
yes.
which were this big. So then I'm going to fill everything, and then it's going to be painted even before it goes in.
Right.
Because it's easy to paint it here, but everything else is going to be painted in situ. So in that room.
That's right.
Now, before we got to the point where we are at right now, there was a lot of work going on beforehand.
A lot of preparation of things, yes.
Demolition. We saw some of the demolition last week. And then Tony said, you know what? I'm going to come over for a couple of days and help you. So we made huge progress.
Right, because of where we are locating the vanity which is now going to be on the other side of this wall. So we needed some plumbing relocated in that room.
Yes, and on both sides. So
actually, yes, yeah.
It's great. So you have a look at that. Now there's something really exciting going on because we are going to a wedding, but we're not just going.
No, we are actively participating on many levels of this wedding.
Yes, and it's exciting, and it's not going to say anything more because it's people we adore, and so it's going to be fascinating.
But there are things that we are doing for the wedding, and we will videotape them, and we will show them to you.
Yes,
next week,
we
probably.
will. So, having said that, that's next week's topic. If you like this episode, please give us, oh good Lord, what's wrong with my S's today?
Please give us a thumbs up.
What he said.
And please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe.
Right. You can also join us if you want to support the renovation of the Chateau on Patreon.
Or you can buy us a coffee.
That's true too.
And we will see you on Wednesday.
Yes, thank you so much.
A bientôt.
Thanks for watching. Auf
Bye.
Wiedersehen.
If you enjoyed this video, please use the like feature to let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Journey to the Chateau YouTube channel if you would like to see more. Once you've subscribed, you can tap the notification bell in order to ring it, which will allow you to receive all notifications from our channel. Thank you.